What's up, YouTube? Today I've got Tim Henson's part of G.O.A.T for you. Scott's part will come later, and that will fill in some of the gaps that you'll find. Some of the things are confusing as a standalone guitar track, but this song is kind of too complicated to do in one video. This video itself is somewhere around 35 minutes, so you know. This is also my first long form video, so if you can, please give me any advice, anything you liked about it. Please send me a message or write it down in the comments. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I don't mind, but any constructive criticism really helps. So thank you and good luck. All right, we got the exposition of the song. So 7th fret E string, open B string. 2nd fret high E, slide that baby up. Hit the 12th fret harmonic on the B string. Then we want a little bend on the 9th fret on the E string, 12th fret G string. 4th and 6th fret on the A and the B string. Just slide up a semitone. So it goes 4-6 to 5-7. All together. We go from the 7th and 10th fret on the D and the B strings. We slide those up 2 frets. Right? Tap the 20th fret on the B strings. Tap the 10th fret on the E string. Grab those same 9th and 12th notes. Slide them up 3 frets. Tap the 19th fret. So together that's... From that 19th fret, you just pull off to an open B. And then you, as soon as you pull off, you hit that 7th fret harmonic on the G and the B strings. So you don't want to go... you can do whatever you want, I don't care. All together we've got... Cool. All right, so the next part, we've got the 3rd fret on the E string and the open B again. We grab the 9th and the 11th on the A and the G strings, and we go, just slide up a semitone, come back down, so that's 9, 11, 10, 12, 9, 11. Then we go for a little run down the 7th harmonics. All right, 7 on the B, 7 on the G, 12 on the B. Altogether, that is. From here, we hit that same 9th fret bend, bendy, 12th fret harmonic, and then we do the same sliding, except this index finger comes a semitone early. So we go from the 3rd to the 4th on that one, and the 6th to the 7th. So, okay, just play that slow so you get it. Okay, once you're in that, you hold open E, back to that 7th fret on the B string, and this is 6th fret on the low E string. So, to close off that whole run before it restarts, you go, which is 7, pull off to 6. Use a little finger to get that B. And then you pluck the 8th note there. I know that Tim Henson in it slides, but I'm used to pulling off. You do what you want, baby, I don't care. So, all together, that's... Then you start on the offbeat on the same note, so... Okay, same note. So we've got the B with the B on the low E on the 7th fret. We've got the open B with the little ring finger there. Slide up again, but hit, instead of going to the 12th fret, you go to the 7th, which is the B, G, B on the 12th fret there. 7, 7, 12. And then there's the same little 9th fret bendy harmonic on the G string on the 12th fret. So... Same exact slide. the 4th and the 6th fret to the 5th and the 7th. Here's the somewhat tricky part. It's just quick. Don't be scared by it. It is in triplets. So 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2. Done. That pattern goes. I play it. The other fellow plays it by sliding. I play it pulling off. Does not matter. 7 G string, 6 G string, open B string, 8th D string. Then we grab that 7th on the A string, slide that up to the 10th. Grab the 9th fret on the D string. We grab some harmonics, 1 and 2. So this is 12, 12, all 3 at once. We just climb up. So that's G, B, all 3, 14, 15. That little chord there is 15, 14, 14 on the G, B, D, G, B, E strings. And then we land on the 16th fret here on the D string, and then we're home free. Back to the G with the open B, slide from that same. That plays twice. The only thing that's different is the second time round, you add on the same, and then you're done. Brilliant. Let's move on to the next part. Alright, sweet, we're past the first part. This part, on Tim's behalf, is extremely simple, so I'm going to play it to you once. I think you just saw in the video how simple it is. That's it, play that 4 times, you're done. So what that is 14th, 12th and 16th fret on the A, D and G strings. Hit that as a chord. You tap up to the 19th fret. So it's just 16, 19, 16. Tap the 19th fret on the B string. And then pull off to the open B. The remaining notes are grab the 12th fret on the B string, 14th fret on the G, slide down to the 11th, open high E, and then 7th fret B string. Great, now you're playing like Tim Henson. Notes played are 2 on the A, 4 on the D, open on the G, open on the B, and then straight back down. You notice that that's triplet up and then quarter notes back down. So 1 and the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Hit the chord of 3, 2, 4, which is 3 on the E, 2 on the A, 4 on the D. Okay? Slide straight up. You do 14, 12, 12, 12 on the D, G, B, E strings. Hit that as a chord. Then you just climb that back down. So chord, 12 on the B, 12 on the G, 14 on the D. That next note is 8, 6, 7 on the D, G, B strings. So all together we've got 2 on the low E. Okay, I'm not exactly sure how many hits goes there, but it sounds like that many. It sounds like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just play 4, but you can play whatever you want that sounds right. Those notes are 4, 3 and open on the G, B, E strings. So then we roll into the little run. This is all on the D and G strings. So 8, 7, 5, 6, 4, 4, and 2, 3. Okay, it doesn't sound that great as it is, but it works in the song. End that run immediately. There is very little time You really got to get those harmonics on that next note. Do not stop for that. Do not stop for anything. 7th note harmonics on those higher strings, G, B, and E. Does that little run? Hit those harmonics. 7, 7, 9. You hold the note on the 9th fret. Hit that note again. Use your little ring finger to get that B again. Open string. 7th fret on the G with the pick. 8th fret on the B with the finger again. And then you hit that same chord as before. 8, 6, 7. So. Okay. Okay. That part is pretty simple. Open, open, open from the D, D4, A7, down to A5, A4, hammer on to A7. So. 4 on the D, 6 on the G, open on the B. Go from the, which is 2nd and 4th, slide up to the 7th and 9th. Hit them twice. Then we do the same chord as up here, which is just 5, 3, 3, 3 on the D, G, B, E. And just climb down again. Then we've got an F7, which is 2, 4, 2, 3, 2, 2 on the bar chord. That pinky in the air. It's just the F7 chord, strum it out once, and then I kind of just play whatever. Which is bend on the 3 on the G string. And you hit the B, a 2nd fret B string. Slide that up 1 semitone, so you're on the 3rd and the 4th. Alright, you hit that note, that all together is 4, 3, and open. Now, this is the chord where the two guitars divide. So, at this point of the song, the two guitars divide, they both hit that final chord. Okay, and that's when, in the Scott's video, the next video that I do, it's going to have how that works with the other guitar. So if it sounds a bit weird, it will be explained in the next video. Okay, which is just 9 on the D, 11 on the G, 8 on the B. You just go back to that 11th there. Then you slide from the 9th on the G string up to the 11th, down to the 4th. Okay, 7, open, 7 on the B, open on the E, back onto the 7th there. Hold all these notes down. Slide from the 4th to the 6th on the G string. Down to the 4th again. 4th on the D. Okay, so all together that is. Then after hitting that open E, we hit on to an interesting chord, which is 7, 5, 7, 5 on all the middle strings, so A, D, G, B. So just do that same climb down. Then we do 13, 11, 11, 11 on the A, on all the middle strings again, so A, D, G, B. 6 on the low E. I'm once again not sure how many hits there are there, but that is the 8th and the 4th fret on the D and the G. So just sounds like that. I think the drums might be hitting that many times, so I do too. And then this little rundown is a bit simpler. It's 9, 8, 7, 5, 5, 4, 4, 2. Altogether, you've got rest, hit that same harmonics on the 7th fret, then you do the same exact down, 7, 7, 9, then there's different harmonics, 5G, 7B, 5B, 5G, 7B. Altogether, that is. Rolling into the next part, it's open from the high E, pull off on the A string from the 4 to the 2, and then 1, 4 hammer on, open D, then there's a little bendy bit on the G string on the 3rd, open on the B again. So once again it's and then we pick up exactly the same ending when the 2 guitars come together, 2 and 4 from the 2nd to the 9th, 2nd to the 7th fret. So that's the same 5, 3, 3, 3, and then the same F7 chord 2, 4, 2, 3, 2, 2. And just I jam out on that. They play something else. I don't know. It just doesn't seem relevant to me to bother being that precise because it sounds the same. Then we are back to this intro. There's nothing different about that at all. So you already know that part. So we'll move on. This whole bass section is really ridiculously simple. If you watch my video, you notice that I roll into it straight away with the pick doing the harmonics. So you should, hopefully if you're taking on this song, you should know how to do pinch harmonics with your pick. I just do it over the 12th fret equivalent. So 9, the notes for the fingers is 9 on the D, 11 on the G, 12 on the B, 12 on the G, 11 on the G, 12 on the B, 12 on the D, 12 on the G. Repeat. Alright, if you've watched my video, the first thing I do is, which is just playing pinch harmonics over the top of the 12th note equivalent. So, and then I just go to the finger technique where you do it because I find that I can get a bit more punch out of the notes. So instead of it's just a little easier to control in my opinion. And yeah, you just kind of follow the 12th fret note harmonic things. You should know if you're tackling this song, you're probably a decent player. Alright, we are at, in my opinion, probably the most confusing part because it was hard to get the timing down because it's not clear with what the drums are doing, whatever else. It's just kind of hard to distinguish what was the guitar, what's the drums, what's the bass, because the rhythms are so kind of at times perfectly in sync and then other times perfectly not in sync. So this is my interpretation of what happens and it sounds correct to me. We're getting this finger involved again. So that's 2, open, 2 on the A, open G, 4 on the D, open B. Then in the same rhythm, which is just 7th fret harmonics, triplet on the 7th fret, 12th fret on the G string. And that triplet was on the G string as well. Then we go 6 on the E, 5 on the A, open G, 4 on the D. 3, 2. kind of confusing, but you know, we've just got to live with that. So. Okay, it's all there. Rewind if you didn't get it. This part's difficult because it's fast and there's a lot of jumping. I tried to figure out different ways to pick it with this, and I just couldn't really get on something that made sense, but I'm not that much of a hybrid picker, so, you know, I just found what worked for me. You do what works for you. So that's the whole passage. So it's 7, 11, 7 on the E, G, E. Slide up to the 10th fret. G string 12, 7 harmonics, followed by the high E 7th fret harmonic. So, which is just 7 back on the 7th fret on the E string. Then it's just rhythms. You can figure this out, which is 7, 6, 9 on the A string, 3 and 2, and then repeat the first part. I recommend placing your fingers on 7 on the A, 9 on the D, 6 on the G, and 8 on the B, because they play that part held out, same picking thing. So 7, 6, 9, 8, which is your bar across the G, B, and E, and then that ring finger up to the 14th fret, which is 13th, same thing to the 15th. I'm going to play this all for you in a moment, which is 6, 4, 2 on the E, A, and D strings, and then it's 3, D, 3 on the E, open D, 4 on the A, and then you grab just a power chord, which is E and A strings, 2nd and 4th fret, slide up to the 6th from the 2nd, and then you just hit open strings up there. Sounds weird, but play it along with the track and you'll know it. So I'm going to play that all slower for you so that it can kind of make sense, because it's confusing. I'm serious, that's how it's played. Alright, now we're on to potentially my favorite part of the track. You grab the 9th fret on the A and the D strings, 11th fret on the G, slide up to the 16th. Do a 17, 16, just hit those together. Then this is a little chromatic. 11, 12, 11, 10, 11 on the G string, 10 on the high E, 14 pull off down to 11 on the B string, and then 12, 11, 12 hammer on, 11 on the B string, those high 3 strings harmonics, 12 and 7. Like that. Then we do 7 on the A, 9 on the G, which is 17, 16, 17 on the B, G, D, 19 on the B, 15 on the G. Then we go into a really confusing part, timing wise, because once again it's hard to hear, but it's 11 on the G, 8 on the D, 11 on the G, 8 on the B, 11, 8 on the D, 10 on the A, 9 on the D. So that's all that is. Just go slower. Give it a little wiggle there if you want. very nearly the end. This part's pretty simple, but then the next couple of parts get harder and harder, and then we're done. So it's 11 on the G string, 7 on the E, 8 on the B, 9 on the D, open on the B string, 8 on the D, 11 with a couple of open strings, 12 on the G, so overall. 9 on the D, 16, slide up to 16, 12 on the B and the E, which is 12, 10 on the A, 9 on the G, 7 on the A. I'm going to explain this really weird because it works with the rhythms better, but it's 9, 10 on the A string, 11 on the D string, slide that 11 up to the 16th fret, open on the high E, and then 13th on the A string. Weird, I know, but there we go. 11th fret on the D string, 14th fret on the A string, 15th fret on the E string, open on the high E string. So, because what happens is it goes 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4 on the different rhythms. So that's why I explain it like that. You'll figure it out. Okay, then we're on to the final part, which is also one of my favorite parts of the track. So let's get into that. Power chord on the 2nd fret, which is 2nd and 4th frets on the A and D strings. Open B string, 11th fret on the G, 12th fret on the D, that is 11 on the G, open on the B, 10 on the high E, which is 12th fret, 1 under, 12th fret on the D string, open G, 5th fret harmonic on the G. So all together. 5, 4, 4 on the A, D, G strings, scratch, scratch, 2nd fret on the low E string, and then open B, open G, 4th on the D, 1 on the A, 3 on the E. Climb back up with 4 on the A, 4 on the D, and open on the G. So land on the low E. Cool. Let's break this next part down beat by beat because the rhythms are a little bit confusing to get right. So its first beat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Second beat is being held from the first beat, 2, E, and R. Third beat is 3, E, and R. 11 and 8 on the G and B strings for the 3E, scratch on the and, harmonics on the 7th fret on the A. So that's once again 3E and R. Fourth beat is scratch, scratch for the 4E and 4th fret on the A string. 1, the next thing comes back to that F sharp 7 chord that we keep coming to, lands on the first beat of the next bar. So all in all we've got which is 2, 4, 2, 3. Don't worry about the high notes on this one. We have this lovely little run that comes up, which goes 4 on the D string, open G, hammer to the 3rd, slide to the 4th, hammer to the 6th, hit the 5th note on the B string, hammer on and pull off on the 6th fret on the high E string, 5, 5, 5, 7 down on the the E, G, B strings on the 7th fret there, and then we're done. So overall that's most ridiculous thing is I got this far and then I realized I didn't even have my light on. So hopefully the lighting's better for the rest of the video. Now we're basically at the final part. So we just do on the 3rd fret on the G string, which is G open B, hammer onto the 7th, which is play that 7th fret again, and then hit that open E, which is 7th fret, open G, 7th fret on the G, open to the harmonic on the 5th fret, which is that same 5-4-4 chord again. Okay, which is 12, 14, 12, 11, 11, 11, all on the B except for, of course, the G and the D. 14, 10 on the high E, 14, 11 on the B, G on, like 12th fret on the G string. So, and then we land on the 15th fret on the high E, so that we can make the rhythms work as 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1. Okay, that's 3 on the high E, 14, 12, 10, 12 on the B, 11 on the G, 14 on the D. You land on the 12th fret of the D string, you hit the 11th fret on the G string, and then you play the following strings open from the D up. So 9, 8, 6 on the G, B, E, 6, 5, 0 open, and then for the fastest part in the whole song, 7 hammer to 12 on the high E, 9 hammer to 12 on the G, 11 hammer to 14 on the B, 11 hammer to 16 on the D, tap to 20, same 11, 14, 19 on the B, 14, pull off to 10, slide to 9, hit the 11th on the B string, 12th on the G, pull off to 9, and then 12th fret on the D string. Then you're done with the song. Cool. Now I'm going to play that a little bit more consistently for you, give you a couple of tips. So it's once again, it's in triplets, and the accent is weird. So it's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. Okay. So when you set your metronome to practice that part, it should come in on every 3rd note. Otherwise you'll have 1 and 2 and it'll just confuse you. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 2 and 1. Done. Enjoy.